everybody, this is T with Kate's Crafty Closet, and I'm coming to you with a clean and simple winter card, which can also be, you can turn it into Christmas holiday card if you want to. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing that I went ahead and did is, this is some Neenah Desert Storm 100-pound cardstock that I cut to be a top folding card, which means it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So we're going to put that to the side, and then I went ahead and die cut. This is a postage stamp die from Sizzix, and this is the larger one, so I cut 2 of those out. You only really need 1, but I cut 2 out because I like to have stash on the side. So that's going to be for the inside of our card. So let's go ahead and get started. And the next thing I went ahead and did, I have this EK Success Snowflake punch. If you do not have a punch, you can most certainly use any kind of snowflake die you have, or even a snowflake stamp would work as well too. So I put some double-sided adhesive onto some white cardstock, and I went ahead and punched that out using that punch that I just showed you right there. And I'm trying to find the die cut punch that I did with the adhesive on the back. So see how I lose things in my craft from? Here it is, right there. So that's it. So let's bring in our card panel that we said we hope we don't lose, and of course we lost it already, and I just literally had it, but here it is. It's right here in front of me. I just wanted to show you how the struggle really is real. If I had to do this again, I would not put this double-sided adhesive on it because it is super sticky, that's the good part. The bad part is that when I go to try and peel it off, it's a little bit more detailed, so it wants to rip and wants to stick to my finger. So I would have gone ahead and just put liquid glue on the back of it. Should I did it over again, I would do that. I'm going to use the stamp set today. This is an older stamp set from FB, which is now ink on 3, called Let It Snow. And I just chose the sentiment from Let It Snow on there. And I'm just going to go ahead and I put it to stamp already on a block. I'm going to bring out my Versamark ink. And I'm going to go ahead and ink that up really well because I only got 1 shot at stamping it on there and stamping it correctly. So I'm just going to kind of decide where I want my snowflake to go, but I want to do the heat embossing first. Okay, see how it folded under like that? Kind of going to go there with it. So I'm going to stamp my sentiment right here, like not super hard on it because it's a smaller stamp. So this is some ink on 3 Arctic White embossing powder. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my little spoon, and I'm just going to put it on there, lightly tap it off. And I always, no matter what I do, I always make a mess with embossing powder. I just can't get away from making a mess. So I've just come accustomed that no matter what I do, that's just going to happen. So I'm going to pull in my Ranger heat tool. This may take a few minutes longer than if you use an embossing gun because this is slower and doesn't put out a whole lot of air, but that's okay. It also gives you a little bit of time to do it, and then you know when heat embossing is done when the it gets shiny on you. So I'm just going to wait until that happens. Like I said, it will take a little bit longer with this heat tool than it would be with an embossing gun. And there we go. I can see it get shiny on me. So that part's done. And I'll fan it, let it dry so it didn't burn myself. Okay. So there we go. There we have it, and we'll trim down our card because it's a little bit off after the fact, but that's okay. Sometimes that happens with trimmers, and paper isn't always straight, so I'm going to do my best here and peel off the sticker backing off of the Snowflake using my pokey tool, which I finally found my pokey tool, so I'm super happy about that. So why do I keep losing this snowflake? I don't understand. How can I lose this snowflake again? It's like I have some backup ones that don't have the adhesive on it sitting right here, but like, how do I keep losing that crazy snowflake when I literally just showed you all that snowflake? So I don't understand how I can miss that stuff. It's like, it ever gets to the point where it just kind of frustrates you that how can you lose stuff that's literally sitting right here? Lord only knows it probably, oh, here it is, sitting on top of that. See? It's crazy. It's crazy. I need to put a little container on here to put stuff in when I'm working on a project or working on a video, so I don't lose it. But that's the struggle, major struggle. So I'm doing the best that I can. And this is another reason why I probably would have not used that adhesive, because it does take a second to find that release paper, because I don't want to rip the snowflake being too rough with it. All right, so there we kind of got it. And see if we can grab it with the pokey tool and release that off. And just be super careful when you're doing this, because like I said, it's super sticky. I try not to put my finger on the adhesive part. I try to use the pokey tool to hold it down as much as I possibly can while I put the release paper down. Like, this is what I usually do. I hold it, then I keep and I move it up so wherever I'm trying to peel off. And you just got to be careful that you don't let the snowflake, it's not petals, but you know, the snowflake, to flip over on itself, because then you got to go back to the drawing board. So like I said, I would have just went ahead and risked the liquid adhesive and possibly having it leak underneath it than trying to do that. So I'm going to do my best to line this up, and it probably won't be perfect, and I'm super okay with that. I'm not going to press it down just yet. I am going to press the center down, then I'm going to pull out the extensions of the snowflakes, and I'm going to adhere it down. But it does adhere down better when you use a double-sided adhesive. That much I will say. All right, so the next thing we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to grab that center panel for the inside of the card. Like I said, that's a postage stamp. I'm just going to put some liquid glue on here. If you want to use double-sided tape, you can. If you want to use the ATG, you can, but I'm just using this liquid adhesive, and I'm going to go ahead and adhere that. Do my best to center it, and if it's not, I'm okay with that. Okay, I'm not a stickler for centering. I try, but I just am not successful at it. So now that we got that done, I'm going to go in with these little gems and put these on the end of the snowflake and do my best. These are kind of tiny, but we're going to use our pokey tool to kind of, because it'll stick to the bottom of that, and then we can bring it to the snowflake and then press down on it to adhere it, because these are self-adhesive. So, and like I said, slide it and hope it stays, but sometimes it sticks on your finger. Like, that's okay. So then we can come back and boom. It's like, just gotta be patient and take your time. It's like, no rush, have fun, enjoy your crafting. That's what I try to do. It's relaxing, like stress-free, right? Relaxing and stress-free. Sometimes if it doesn't turn out the way you want it to turn out, improvise. Like, try something else. Like, sometimes it just comes to you. Sometimes it may take a moment. You might have to come back to the project later on and say, oh, I can do that with it. So I always learned crafting. I'm not going to stress about it. There we go. And if you want to, you can put one in the center too. So let's go ahead and do that. Or you can put a giant pearl in the center of that. But I'm just going to go with this. Okay. And the next thing we're going to do, we're going to come up with this liquid correction pen. This is something I picked up at the Dollar Tree. You can get these at office supply stores, Walmart, any of those places. So I'm just going to prime it, shake it, and off to the side I have a little scrap sheet of paper, and I'm going to scribble until it comes out. I have to squeeze it a little bit. There we go. And this is basically how we're going to create just some snow. And I'm not worried about it being perfect. Some of them are going to be a little bit more faded than the other, and that's okay, because what you say, no snowflake is the same, right? And just keep doing it till you are satisfied with the outcome. You want more? Put more. If you want less, put less. I just fill it in to the best of my abilities and just like, okay, it's snow, so you can it can be a blizzard or it can be just a light storm, right? Is that how it works? This is Florida, so ain't no snow going on down yonder. So I just improvise. I didn't see snow till I was an adult, honestly, in New York City. Talk about beautiful the first time I seen it, until I had to walk in it to get to the subway. Then I was like, not so much. It's the ice. Okay, I'm okay with that. I'm happy with that. So that is our card for today. So super simple, super easy. I'll do my best to link the products that I used today in the description box below if I can find them or if they're still available. I know some of it is. And make sure you hit that like button if you enjoyed this tutorial, and make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already, and make sure you hit that notification bell so you get notified each and every time I upload a video to YouTube. So again, thank you all for joining me, and have a crafty